Hello, everyone. We're happy to have Eric here with us today. Eric, thank you for joining us. How is it going?
It pretty cool. What's going on? I just came back from the ATC in Paris. Now back in Germany for a while. Pretty busy for the last few weeks, but yeah, a lot of exciting thing going on.
Okay, so my first question is what sparked your interest in investing in crypto?
So so basically, I just briefly introduce about me a bit so that the viewer could understand what is my background and why I got that kind of vision. So at the moment, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Web3 Space. We are basically education, acceleration, and investment fund. So we are technically investment fund, but beginning of this year, we are trying to be, let's say, go down to the pipeline, working a lot with the builder, with the education program, with the hackathon in general. For crypto investment in general, so I play two roles, yeah, as a retail investor, which means like normal user buying, trading crypto and token in general. And I also play a role as an investment fund. So that's why I'm coming on. And my business and my background is mostly stay in the Central Europe and the APAC regions, which mean Vietnam, Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Singapore, South Korea, Japan. So I would, let's say, speak about my knowledge in that area only. So for the guy in North America, the guy in Middle East, the guy in South Africa, maybe he got a different opinion. So for your question regarding the interest in investing in crypto, obviously the first thing coming up in my mind is really high potential of return investment, like high level, which is way too much than a traditional investment in stock market or in other thing like real estate. That's the first one. Second one is like it's working 24 hours per day, 7 days per week, which means you can continue trading, continue investing every single day, every single minute without any limitation. It's not like in stock market, right? You need to, let's say, wait until it's open again, or not like in real estate, like where you really hard to find the buyer or to find the seller. But the second one, and the last one, I think most of people like me who got the background from the investment fund or from the development side is like there's something new, something interesting, something like say future, and we really want to be part of it. And the easiest way to be part of it is investing. So there's three, I say, key factor when I, let's say, spark or like interested in investing in crypto in general.
Okay, thank you. How do you approach researching and analyzing cryptocurrencies before making investment decisions?
Okay, also we divide into two aspects. The first one with the, let's say, retail investment with trading, second one with the investment fund. So for trading, mostly like it's the cryptocurrency in general, basic stuff you need to do before you actually make investment, like checking the volume, checking where you can buy it, whether in some centralized chains or in some decentralized chains. To check with some tool, yeah. For example, for me, like I use two tool in which is also my current investment portfolio as well, named the Nimbus and the Artemis. They are kind of like supporting portfolio management in general, help you to do some basic technical analysis to who have a bit of, let's say, less knowledge in terms of technical analysis. It could help them to let's say ease the process of understanding things in general and then making investment decisions more, let's say, wisely and easily. Obviously, for the investment fund, it's a bit different, yeah. And we not invest in directly in crypto, but we rather invest in the company, into the team. So there are more things to consider, like founder, the problem, the solution, the traction. Is there any other backer on the to invest in this company yet or not? How big is the market? Are they got a clear roadmap? Are they got a big communities? Are they big, let's say, commitment from the founder team to actually deliver the product? So it's totally different with the, let's say, retail investor with the trading market in general.
Okay, and can you share more about your investment strategy when it comes to crypto directly?
Okay, for crypto, I also, yeah, again, for my let's say, retail investment strategy, for me, I divide my account into two accounts. One is like, let's say, a long-term investment one, where I buy the top token or top coin, so top 20, top 10 in the coin market cap in general. And I buy it, let's say, monthly or weekly, depending on how much money you spend on your let's say, crypto investment portfolio. And with that long-term investment account, I do not care much about the market fluctuation. Because in the long run, I believe I will be outperforming any traditional investment in general. And actually, it is so far. I've been in crypto in 2017. I doing that strategy, I think, in 2019, a bit late, and it's still, let's say, well performed, even though we go to the, let's say, bear market for the last 3 years. That is the first one. Another one is for retail one. I also got my short-term investment one, which is a bit more risky, a bit, let's say, gambling from my point of view. And in that aspect, I invest in, let's say, less secure token, top 100, maybe even top 1,000 something. And for that one, I'm looking really forward for the not the stable investment, but for the profit. I'm looking for something like 10x, 20x, 50x in return.
Mm-hmm.
And also, let's say, participate in some DeFi protocol activity as well, like LP, liquidity provider, staking, your farming in general as well. And I think that is mostly what I let's say, strategy when it comes to invest in crypto in general. For the investment in the early test startup, and in Web2 startup, we focus on really early stage one, and we try to diversify our portfolio. So not only DeFi, not only GameFi, but also protocol, ZK in general. We try to diversify as much as possible at the moment, because at the moment the market is not yet having a clear trend which go forward. That's why we try to diversify our portfolio as much as possible. And as I mentioned, like now we go really deep into pipeline with education, acceleration, and hackathon. We work with several blockchain layer one to hackathon like Solana, Cosmos, Python, Ethereum. So we know the founder at the very early stage. So we know them from very beginning. That's why we can confidently invest in them, because we know them for a very long time already.
Okay,
cool.
Thank you for this detailed answer. And can you share some of your most successful crypto investments and what led to their success?
So for the personal investment, so I think I can name top 3 things I got. Let's say the highest return investment. Some is few hundred X. Some like the first one is the Litecoin. I bought the first Litecoin in 2017. I still remember in 2018 when the founder of Litecoin, they sell all of their tokens like for 200 million something, and the market crashed. But still they bow back in 2019, 2020 something, and they still make quite some profit from that one. And for Litecoin, it is basically luck, because it's very beginning of my investment with crypto, 2017. So I did not do much research. So I think consider myself a little bit lucky. And the second one is VAT with Brave browser. I invest in this one because I use a product, I use a browser, and I think it is nice. It's new idea concept. I like the product, and that's why I invest. The third one is the Axie Infinity. It's like huge, let's say, potential things back in 2020, 2021. I invest in this one because I know the founder too well. He also from Vietnam as well. So I know him, and I like the concept, and I invest in it. And that's why I say early adopter to Axie Infinity. And I also make quite some, let's say, profit from that investment as well. So it's very diverse. Some from luck, some from, let's say, I use the product, I like it, and I invest. And some like I know the founder, and I invest because of the founder.
Okay. And how do you manage the risk associated with investing in crypto?
I already sharing like for crypto in general, that's the retail. For long-term investment, I do not care much about risk, because like let's say, split up the investment, buying every month or every week. So I do not care much about market fluctuation. For short-term account, obviously, we need to care about that one. So I mentioned like we got a tool to support me with that one. For example, like Nimbus and HMS. For example, for Nimbus, the portfolio management tool in which you can set certain rule for your account, like how diverse it is, like what is the price to buy, what is the price to cut cost, cut the losses. And they also got some indicator to indicate how wealthy your portfolio are. If they are too risky, they will, let's say, notify you. So actually, we are developing some, let's say, robo advice at the moment. I also can use some advice from them sometimes, not all the time. But yeah, it's not that smart. So we take them as a consideration, but we do not make decision fully on them. For the same for DeFi aspect with the staking and yield farming, for Nimbus, I can show you actual, let's say, loss, which is not happen very much in the market at the moment, because you only sell how much token you earn more, but you are not converted to actual fiat. So sometimes you got more token, but actually you are losing your money. So tool is something that you can use definitely to, let's say, manage and reduce the risk in while investing in crypto in general.
Okay, and are there any resources or tools do you rely on to stay informed about the crypto market?
Obviously, the market is, let's say, highly fluctuated at the moment and is still immature. Yeah, so it depends a lot on the, let's say, expectation of the investor. So we always need to inform a lot, let's say, keep ourselves informed about what happened in the market. So for the information about crypto market, obviously news is something I always need to read every day. So I read some crypto news. Maybe you already know about that one. With the Telegram in general, information about crypto news in general. Also Twitter, I got follow some quite, let's say, influencer and also some, let's say, OG in the market. So when they discuss something about this one, I can follow and then catch up with what I do. And already mentioned about portfolio management tool, with signaling, with the, let's say, notification if there is something going on the market, there is some, let's say, smart money moving, some, let's say, whale something, they will give you information about that one. I do not, let's say, share information on Telegram group or Signal group a lot because there is too much of them and the information from them is actually not reliable. Yeah, you need to spend a lot of time to verify, to check if the information is actually correct. So, because I'm pretty busy at the moment, so I'm not follow that aspect. But if you got time, then it also could be one way for you to check information. And the last, but also I think the most reliable sources is references. Yeah, you need to be in the market. You need to know people when they know something, they tell you. That's mostly, let's say, correct information. And I think it's a bit, let's say, further ahead market. But you need to be in certain level and you need to know certain people in order to got that, let's say, information ahead of the market. So yeah, keep building your network and someday you got talk to the right person, right information, and then you might, let's say, ahead of the market.
So you mentioned about Telegram, so you don't trust much to Telegram, right? To the information.
Not Telegram in general, but the Telegram group in which like
okay.
A lot of people are trying to crowd you in with the Telegram Signal group, right? A lot of things going on like that.
Yeah.
But there's too much information and inside some is correct, but some is not. And you need to spend a lot of time for verification, which is time consuming from my point of view. So I don't trust source much.
Yeah, I agree. There are a lot of groups. Some of them are really like trustful. The other one is not so trustworthy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's get back to the crypto investment. And what is your response to the criticism that crypto are speculative assets with no intrinsic value? Sorry.
For me, that at the moment is yes or no, and also no as well. Yeah. So as you may know, like for some token, some project which make totally sense, they have no value at all. Mm-hmm. For the physical world, just basically Ponzi and scheming, like trying to make money from the market, make money from the investor. Some people say they still make value because like they make some people rich and some people poor. Yeah, depend on which side of the market you are. If you are in the good side, you are making money, then you're happy. But if you are losing money, then you are not happy. But for me, that is not the way I would like to go to. Because as an investment fund, we manage, let's say, some million, 10 million, 20 million portfolio within our company. We're always looking for some real project with real value. The token use cases need to be clear, and they need to bring value to end users. For example, with the case of Axie Infinity and GameFi in general, for Axie Infinity, like within the ecosystem, they create the value that they engage end user. They transfer the power back to end user. The power is not only in the developer anymore, but also back to end user. And they provide a tool for a customer, for end user to, let's say, transfer value outside of the games, bring the new economic to the aspect. That is something that they they work well, but still they only born within the physical, born within the digital world. And for me, like in order to let's say make the token or whatever NFT to be more, let's say, valuable to end user and to investor, we need to, let's say, bond such token and NFT with the physical world. And I think a lot of projects are trying to do it at the moment, but still, it's long way to go. I say it's only like 20% of the market project could do it. So like 80% still very digital and doesn't bring much value to the end user. They are not perform better than Web2 solution. So why bother using Web3? Why I can only using Web2 with much more convenient, right? So it takes time, but I believe in the long run, more and more project, more and more token use case with real value should show up in the market, and then the market will be more stable and more value to the end user in general.
Okay. And I have this interesting question, like really relevant these days. What is your opinion on the potential impact of government regulations on the value and viability of crypto?
Actually, a lot. I already mentioned like crypto market is still depend a lot on expectation of the investor, right? And governance impact is huge because it directly impact to the expectation, the emotion of the investor. For the China market, yeah. When like 2 years ago, when the government decided to shut down the door for the crypto, then it's just a bit of pity that there's no crypto project coming out of China. Then they open for blockchain, but not crypto. There's a really huge impact on in the market. Something like here in Europe, like with CBDC, the government is trying to do both sides, both crypto and CBDC at the moment. Not sure which one is going, but it's also really impact on the market. And recently, like I thought, we all know, right? A month ago, the current, let's say, conflict or a bit of conflict in general between SEC and some crypto project bring market crash a bit. And luckily, after 2 weeks, things back to normal with the, let's say, window to the market, right? So it really got huge impact on the market, not only in terms of the market for trading, but also markets for building project. Because like, for example, I mentioned about the China, right? If you cannot building project with token, then you need to raise fund in different form, like only equity at the moment. But CBDC as well, like if the government here like trying to force CBDC, then other token or payment gateway with crypto also need to change as well. So it's huge impact. And even they can somehow save the direction, they can, let's say, direct how market is, how project is focused on in the long run and in the short run as well. Another example, which is very practical, like Russian guy, after the war in Ukraine, the banking system in Europe and globally just blocked that transaction, right? And that is huge impact on them. That's why only Russian guy who got account in crypto and who stay abroad, they can use that to pay for their living. I talked to a lot of my friends who are Russian who live in Europe. They say, yeah, that crypto saved me. So if without crypto things, I cannot live because I had all of my, let's say, investment, all of my saving is back in Russia and they stuck in the banking system. So, and also like, because of that one, a lot of, let's say, crypto adoption, a lot of payment things happen between the Russian community abroad because like they use a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other stablecoin as a main source of payment. So one action from government can totally change the market and totally change the way how people use cryptocurrency in general.
Okay, and I also have this one general question about crypto. How did you first become interested in cryptocurrencies?
So as I mentioned, like I started to buy the first token in 2017. The reason why I bought it is because my friend told me. So it's very, let's say, traditional way to be in there. My friend told me like I got background in IT, so I've got a friend who developer, and they work for some project, very early stage project back then, and they got paid by Bitcoin. And they told me this is something new. Why don't you, let's say, take a look and spend some money on it? And yeah, that is my first time I bought it. Then I continued to invest more. and then I also lost a lot of money on that one. And then after losing a lot of money, I spent more time on research, spend more time on learning. I think most of people like me, they bought something because their friend told them to buy it. They lost money on it. Either they go out completely, or either they like me, they still stay, but they need to spend a lot of time and resources on learning. And then after some losses, now you can make money from it. There's no easy way.
Okay, so Eric, I have last question for you today. What advice do you have for someone new to crypto investing?
Okay, pretty much the same with what I just mentioned. Like, if you're new to the market, just start invest right away. Also, that you will lose money, but by losing money, it gives you motivation to learn. And afterward, by let's say losing some money, spending more time on learning, you actually like in industry, like the market, and then you can make money from it. And obviously, it depends on your background. Yeah, funny like. Either you would like to go to private school or you public school. Your very first investment could be big or small, depending on your background. But I say this is something definitely unavoidable into the future. So if you would like to be part of it, definitely invest right now and take some lesson from that one. For me, because like I need some motivation needed to learn. Yeah, because learning something new is pretty hard. You need to got a big motivation, and there's nothing more motivate you than like you're losing money. You're losing money, then you need to, okay, I lose money, I need to make money back from that market. Then you spend time and effort to learn. This is my way of learning and adapting to new market. It's not for everyone for sure, but it's very helpful, I believe. And yeah, already mentioned, depend on which school you would like to go, private one or public one. Spend, let's say, suitable amount of money on it, but definitely for the future and unavoidable. So.
Okay, Eric. Thank you so much. It was really a pleasure to talk to you today.
Have a working day. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.